Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome to our regular newspaper analysis. Today we shall be discussing the Hindu newspaper dated December 14. I would like to believe that all of you have gone through the newspaper dated December 14 already, so that you will get the best benefit of the program. There is a small change that from tomorrow onwards the program time will be 12:15 and not 12 noon. So at 12:15, at 12:15 we shall start our newspaper analysis from tomorrow onwards. So please take note of that. Tomorrow it is not at 12 o'clock, rather it is at 12:15 that we shall begin our newspaper analysis. Good to see you all. Good afternoon. I was just telling that I would like to believe that all of you have already read the newspapers. To the new joiners that I have said, we have to get closer to the happenings around the world. That is the way out to succeed in competitive examinations. Anybody who prepares for an all India examination seriously must read the newspapers and try to understand things that are happening around us. I remember during even my times when I was preparing for examinations, we were not that bothered about math or reasoning, because we knew that it was all about practice. Once you understood the concepts, then it was all about practice. But the real concern of ours was general awareness and of course English. These were the two major concerns of ours, and general awareness and English are, say, twin sisters. If you read the newspapers, your English will improve, your general awareness will improve. So there is no other go but to read the newspapers, otherwise just forget any of these exams. So I am straight away moving on to my business of discussing the newspaper. I hope all of you are ready. In between I shall give you a few questions also, you should answer them. Be enthusiastic about this half an hour, so that you will get the best use of the program. So let me start with the Hindu December 14. US court rejects bail plea filed by Kzaranga. He was an accused in the Bombay 26/11 Bombay attack, and he is currently serving a prison term in United States of America. He said that he was lodged in Los Angeles prison, so he requested the court for a regular bail, which was refused by the court. So he is going to be in the prison, and he has to be in the prison till September 2021. India is trying for his extradition because he is wanted by Indian courts for trial. So farmers are again continuing their strikes, they are strengthening their strikes. The government seems to be not paying attention to their demands. The government says that it was ready for concessions or making certain amendments, that they will continue with the minimum support price, and they will continue with the local mandis or APMCs, but the farmers union demand complete repeal of all the 3 laws that were enacted by the parliament in September. Mind you, it was during the peak of COVID that the government came with the 3 laws through the promulgation of a presidential promulgation of orders. So that was not at all fair, because farmers unions were not consulted, farmers were not consulted, they have got genuine concerns, and later on in September, in a hurry, government passed the laws. So farmers unions have got every reason to believe that they were not properly heard before a few laws that would determine their future prospects. They believe that their interest will not be safe in the hands of free market. So government procurement is a necessity. You must understand that what the government says is that it is in the local mandis, in the APMCs, there are traders who are profited, and the government wants to stop it, but the reality is that they are given only 2.5%. They are given only 2.5%, and I shall tell you specifically how what happens. Suppose the minimum procurement price of rice is 20 rupees per kilogram, then it is the so called middlemen who buy the rice at that price from the farmers, and it is their job to keep this rice in the local mandis till the government agencies procure. It is for that the government is paying 2.5 rupees. Mind you, it is not the farmers that are paying 2.5, it is the government that has to pay 2.5%. But once these laws come, then the so called middlemen whom the government blamed to make huge profit will be out of the picture, and who will come in that? Local mills, big financial groups, corporates will come, and farmers believe that their interest will not be protected by big corporations. And if you take the last 15 years of what has happened to many sectors, you would understand that corporates are always after profit, and the so called national interest or the farmers' interest may not be safe in their hands. So their protests, the farmers' protests, are very much legitimate, and government has to listen to them. So it is not the case of a battle of winning and losing, rather it is a battle in which finally the national interests have to win. So let us see and let us proceed. Now explore Kzaranga on boats and bicycles. We know that Kzaranga is known for a famous one-horned rhinos. It is in Assam, it is a protected area, national park. So Kzaranga National Park is generally visited on elephant back and on trucks, jeeps, but now there are cycle tracks that are being introduced in Kzaranga National Park. The authorities say that in the core area it will not be protected, but in the outskirts of that core area, that cycle tracks will be built and people will be allowed to cycle in the park. So they are going to mix a bit of commercialism in the park, but without compromising the protected area's interests. So Kzaranga has come into spot. So Kzaranga National Park is going to be very important. Note down, it is in Assam, it is famous for one-horned rhinos. This is a question that is almost regular for most of the examinations. Where is Kzaranga National Park located? Okay. Now I am giving you another question, please do. The resurrection of the 12-kilometer Chilhati-Haldibari rail link will be discussed during the virtual summit between the Prime Ministers of India and the time is up. The answer is Bangladesh. The British era rail link was abandoned after the India-Pakistan war in 1965. Mind you, in 1965, Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan. It was called East Pakistan. So, in 1965 war, this particular Chilhati-Haldibari rail link was abandoned. Now it is being the governments decide to rejuvenate. Already there are almost 5 rail links that connect Bangladesh and India. Now I am moving on to another question. Which neighboring country of India is celebrating its 50th Independence Day on March 26, 2021? Of course, the time is up. I know that most of you know, those who have read the newspapers would know. Let the answers come. I am waiting for your responses. Let the answers come. Let the responses come quickly. Hello. Okay. So good. It is again Bangladesh. I would like to remind you that from tomorrow onwards, the newspaper analysis will be at 12:15 and not at 12 noon. So there will be a 15-minute shift in the program. So please await the program at 12:15 from tomorrow. Okay. So this is the Hindu editorial. This is about the Facebook. We know that Facebook is facing legal battles in courts in United States. So I shall tell you about what is happening with regard to this particular case. You must know it very, very well, because a news is just breaking, and this is the time that we have to learn, you have to grow along with the news, and you should know it well. So what is the issue with Facebook? Lawsuits against Facebook by the Federal Trade Commission of United States of America and attorneys general of 46 United States state governments and Districts of Columbia pose threat to the tech giant Facebook. So 46 states out of the 50 states in the United States, 46 states and the US Trade Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, have sued the Facebook. Facebook is sued for anti-competitive conduct which harmed users, advertisers, competition and innovation. So these are the reasons why Facebook is sued. Facebook is sued for anti-competitive conduct which harmed users, advertisers, competition and innovation. The basic charge is that Facebook, in fear of competition, plays by anti-competitive strategy. It either buys potential competitor, or if it cannot, cuts them off from accessing larger platforms. Listen, this is how mega corporations develop. When a small company is seen as a threat, immediately what will they do? They will buy the company. The similar thing happened in India many years back when Coca-Cola was given entry again in India. It was banned in 1960s. Later on, when it was given, entry in India in the 1980s, what did they do? The first thing that they did was to buy a famous Indian cola brand, Thumbs Up. So Thumbs Up was bought and was killed. A good brand in India was killed. So similarly, these sort of mega corporations, they either buy companies that are just budding. If they cannot, what will they do? They will deny access to larger platforms. They will deny access to these companies, the access to larger platforms. So this was what exactly Facebook has done. So Facebook prevented competition. That's the major most charge. Naturally, the advertisers, the users, everybody will be taken out the so-called prospective benefits. So listen, the basic charge is that in fear of competition, Facebook plays by an anti-competitive strategy. It either buys potential competitor, or if it cannot, cuts them off from accessing larger platform. So that's the issue. Okay. Facebook bought WhatsApp, Facebook bought Instagram, Facebook bought WhatsApp in 2014 for 19 billion. For 19 billion, Facebook bought WhatsApp in 2014. Both WhatsApp and Instagram were bought by Facebook to avoid competition. It was a ploy by the Facebook to avoid future competition that it bought in time both Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp. Facebook generated a revenue of 70 billion last year, and its market capitalization is just under 800 billion. Mind you, how big the company is. Their annual revenue last year was 70 billion, and their market capitalization, meaning the worth of the company, is just under 800 billion. Regulators have to stop soft approach towards these sort of technology giants that grow globally. They may become threats to even sovereign nations. It is not just the antitrust charges that these companies face, they face charges of violation of privacy also. In many companies, these tech giants face privacy violations. Facebook's offer of limited free internet and plans to new digital currency, listen, they are aiming at providing free internet access, limited free internet access, and they are coming out with they plan to come out with a new digital currency. They are not just ploys to monopolize, but they may even threaten the existing world order. So regulators and governments have to act strongly. They should not continue with their soft peddling with these technology giants. So governments and regulators have to learn lessons from what has happened. It was a few months ago that Google also faced similar challenges. Now it is a turn of the Facebooks. So unless the governments and regulators across the world realize the real threat, that we cannot continue. So please make sure that you keep on watching how the story is developing with regard to Facebook. That is how we can make this idea, this news, a part of your psyche. Okay. So plenty of articles in this regard will come in the days to come. Read them and make it your ideas, and that is how we can get connected to the issues. The roots of agricultural crisis run deep. This was a very beautifully written article about the recent agricultural crisis, the farmers' concerns. I have already taken a class in detail about the farmers' crisis and these protests of farmers, the Delhi siege, etc. So it is available in the YouTube in one of the previous days. So please go through that. Make sure that you read this news article. So I am going to give you another question. The RTGS, the real-time growth settlement, the digital transaction platform, was the news? Because, what is the reason? Why was RTGS in the news recently? That is the question. RBI has decided to discontinue RTGS platform with effect from December 15. RBI has included NBFCs in RTGS platform with effect from December 15. RTGS has become 24/7 with effect from December 15, 2020. So, what is the answer? Please give me the response. Hello. Okay. Okay, correct. RBI has made it 24/7 with effect from December 15. Listen, NEFT and RTGS are two reconciliation platforms provided by the Reserve Bank of India for interbank transactions. So, if I want to transfer some amount of money to my friend's account who keeps an account with another bank, it is just a click of the mouse now. There is a reconciliation platform provided by RBI. The participating banks will enable the transaction of this fund. So, RTGS is real time gross settlement, and from 12:30 today morning, 12:30 AM today morning, early morning, RTGS is 24/7. It is really real time now. Okay. So, the next question, the name the country which was in the news for 400 students were missing after a gunman attacked a secondary school. What is your answer? Please give me the answer. Yes, let me be given the answer, please. Hello. Yes, most of you got the answer correct. It is Nigeria, which is the correct answer. Good. Okay. The fifth question, Anthony Joshua, who retained the IBF, WBA and WBO world heavyweights titles. IBF, WBA and WBO are organizations, boxing federations, different boxing federations. International Boxing Federation, World Boxing Association and World Boxing Organization. They are conducting world titles. So, Anthony Joshua, the new champion, he is a nationality of England. He is a nationality of England. Okay, a new world champion is born, so you should know about him. So, today was a shorter day. Sorry. So, today was a shorter day. I did not have too much things to discuss. I shall come again with another newspaper analysis, not at 12 o'clock, but at 12:15. At 15:15, I shall be here with the newspaper analysis of the Hindu dated December 15. Make sure that you all read well. You read the newspapers well and come for the program, and let our interest grow. I remember we were asked to read the newspapers well. We were asked by our teacher to read the newspapers well. He was very sure that our math and our reasoning would improve, but the general awareness and English would be the so called insurmountable tasks, and that can be conquered only with concrete continuous efforts. So, do not think that you are wasting time on newspapers, but the real education, the real learning has to happen through reading the newspapers. Just imagine that suppose you are learning for your English MA or English BA. What do you do in 2 years or 3 years? You are reading a few textbooks. I am not ridiculing that, but if you believe that by reading those textbooks that your English can be improved, you are terribly mistaken. That is a good platform to come to know more about the language, but the real development of language can be had only if you spend more time using the language. That can be through reading or listening or writing and speaking. Make sure that you become you go for a kind of a comprehensive development, for which I am very sure that newspaper reading will help you immensely. So, we shall have another session, live session at 3 o'clock. Make sure that all of you participate and encourage us. Do not forget to share our YouTube channels, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you like our Facebook page. Thank you very much. Goodbye.